What are your favorite memories from when you were in school? Since I was a little girl, I've always loved playing volleyball. It followed me into adulthood too. I went from never winning a game in middle school to now organizing tournaments throughout the year. See, our personality can stem from childhood, meaning just as our environment was important, it likewise is important for the younger generation as well. After school sports and activities are essential in teaching children important lessons that they will benefit to have in adulthood. To demonstrate this importance, we'll look at three ways after school activities can help build first, teamwork skills, second, how they nurture problem solving skills, and third, their involvement in developing new skills and hobbies in the child. Beginning with how after school activities build teamwork skills. By working together in a group, it teaches each individual to work to a common goal successfully. After School Alliance in June 2022 tells how 63% of parents tell how these programs teach children on building confidence, as well as supporting their well being. We can also see that parents were sure that kids could be with caring and knowledgeable staff, as well as supporting their children's mental health. By placing these children in these programs, it gives them more chances for trial and error, letting them learn and grow further. The team building activities give a sense of belonging too for the children, their peers as well, improving their attendance in school. Because by going to after school activities after school, it gives them another chance to make friends. And then they don't just have to go to school, they want to go to school. Research by Education Resources Information Center shows in August 2022 that group activities nurture communication and fellow relationship skills. By building this support early on, younger generations are more likely to handle criticism in the future. This is also essential in teaching accountability. Working with groups, students can see how much their peers will have to rely on them. So now that we've gone over teamwork building skills, let's go over how school activities can help nurture problem solving skills. The fact after school activities nurture problems can be assured. It doesn't have to be just a sport, but engaging in clubs like robotics, for example, can push critical thinking and problem solving outside of the classroom. National Center for Education Statistics in November 20th brings out that this kind of enrichment gives opportunities for hands-on learning that school hours just can't suffice. There's only so many hours in the day. So this kind of development shows that there's a tunnel, instead of tunnel visioning a problem, it lets the kid see the bigger picture. The opportunity for after school clubs brings chance for productive struggle so that later on the kid can handle more complex problems. Harvard's Graduate School of Education in March pointed that the term cognitive flexibility. In other words, the ability to switch between topics efficiently. When a student faces a sort of bug or problem in their skill, instead of focusing and tunnel vision on that skill, they can look at that bigger picture. This will then build resilience. This environment encourages a growth mindset and grit so that the child can see challenges as problems instead of insurmountable walls. This shift in perspective reduces anxiety related to making mistakes, seeing them as more like errors that can be fixed. As a result, like I mentioned briefly before, that this turmoil on cognitive function with the addition of grit then equals endurance. So while problem solving skills and the dynamics of working on a team are both so important with building endurance, the shift also happens when children develop new skills and hobbies. So the next topic we'll go over is how a child develops skills and hobbies by taking time to master a skill, from dancing to coding to learning a new language or playing volleyball, any sports. This can guarantee a boost in a child's confidence. From the Youth Development Institute in 2021, it tells that students in quality programs saw their self-confidence and math scores jump 20 points. With this internal validation made early on, it then makes that later on in their life they won't rely on other factors that aren't as reliable. This will provide not only a supervised outlet, but also a positive one for energy during what some consider a gap hour. The National Academics of Scientists, Engineering, and Medicine reports that high quality out of school programs are essential for emotional growth and social emotional growth, making a positive work ethic. I mentioned earlier gap hours. These are hours in between where a child is most likely to get themselves into trouble. And instead of letting them find themselves in that situation, they're able to be supervised and watched and then further grow. As well, in the Metro Family magazine, explained in their issue in May 29, 2022, that these activities provide a flexible and accepting environment without the pressure of testing or someone watching them and making sure that they get a 100% score on things. This then reduces the child's overall anxiety. In a classroom, a mistake might mean a lower grade on a report card, but in a soccer field, but in a pottery class, or for me, it was a volleyball court. All mistakes were just a cue to just keep on trying. This environment makes motivation. That's because it'll give them the drive to do something not because they want to, but because they love to do it. It gives them the ability to learn how to love learning. That way, they have the confidence to say later on that they've learned something before, they can do it again. So, in conclusion, as we look toward a future for our youth, it is clear that the learning shouldn't stop at the last bell. By providing opportunities, we aren't just filling time or creating too much of a schedule for these little ones. We're building stronger teams, sharper problem solvers, and more confident individuals. If we want our children to lead tomorrow, we have to give them the opportunity to develop the tools for that so they can preserve today and in their future, because the best lessons can be learned outside of the classroom. Thank you.